Two teams walked onto a World Cup pitch and essentially agreed not to play football. Not as a protest, not because of an injury crisis. They did it on purpose, in front of 50,000 fans and millions watching on television, because they had done the maths, figured out the exact scoreline they both needed, and decided that was enough. No more running required. And here's the kicker. It was completely legal. This is the story of the Disgrace of Gijón. The match so corrupt, it wasn't technically corrupt. The scandal that forced FIFA to rewrite the rulebook. And the moment that proved, beyond any doubt, that if you give smart people a bad system, they will exploit it. Every single time. It's June 1982. The FIFA World Cup is being held in Spain. This is a big deal. It's only the second time the tournament has expanded to 24 teams and the whole world is watching. Now, Algeria is having the tournament of their lives. They are a team nobody expected anything from. They are a team making their World Cup debut. And in their very first game, they pull off one of the biggest upsets in World Cup history, beating West Germany 2-1. West Germany, the reigning European champions, the team that had been to the last 3 World Cup finals. Beaten by Algeria. On the opening day, the football world loses its mind. But here's the thing about World Cups. One result doesn't eliminate you. You play 3 group stage games. You just need to finish in the top 2. So West Germany dusts itself off, beats Chile 4-1, and suddenly they're right back in contention. Algeria, meanwhile, beats Chile 2. And now everything comes down to the final group games. The group has 4 teams: West Germany, Austria, Algeria, and Chile. By the final match day, Chile is already eliminated. So we're really looking at 3 teams fighting for 2 spots. Now, here is the critical detail, and I need you to pay close attention here, because this is where the whole thing unravels. In 1982, the final group games did not kick off at the same time. This sounds like a minor scheduling thing. It is not. It is everything. Algeria played their final group game first. They beat Chile 3-2. Then they sat in the locker room and did what any team would do. They waited to see how the other game went. West Germany versus Austria kicked off the following day, with both teams already knowing Algeria's final points tally and final goal difference. They knew exactly what they needed. They knew exactly what would knock Algeria out. Think about that for a second. It's like being allowed to see your opponent's hand before you play your cards. In any other card game, that's cheating. In the 1982 World Cup group stage, that was just Thursday. Let me break down what the standings looked like going into that final game. Algeria had 4 points, West Germany had 4 points, Austria had 2 points. Under the tiebreaker rules at the time, if West Germany won by 1 goal, just 1, both West Germany and Austria would advance, and Algeria would go home. If West Germany won by too many goals, Austria might get knocked out instead. And if Austria won, West Germany could potentially be eliminated. So the only result that guaranteed both West Germany and Austria would advance was a West Germany win by exactly 1 or 2 goals. A narrow, controlled, comfortable win. Nothing dramatic. Nothing that rocked the boat. In theory, both teams would just play football and let the result happen naturally. 10 minutes in, West Germany score. Horst Hrubesch, a header, 1-0. And then, nothing happened. For the remaining 80 minutes of the match, both teams essentially stopped trying. Players walked, players passed the ball backwards, players kicked it out of play. At one point, a German player had the ball and just jogged, slowly, with nobody chasing him, like a man on a Sunday stroll who happens to be wearing football boots. The crowd started whistling, then booing. Then the Algerian fans in the stadium waved banknotes at the pitch, accusing both teams of being bought. A group of Spanish fans unfurled a white flag, the universal symbol for surrender. An Austrian TV commentator, live on air, told viewers to turn off their televisions and go watch something else. He literally said, "This is a shameful, disgraceful performance." A West German commentator said the same thing. Everyone watching knew exactly what was happening, and both sets of players knew that everyone knew. And they kept walking around the pitch anyway, for 80 more minutes, because the maths said they didn't need to do anything else. The final score: West Germany 1, Austria 0. West Germany advanced, Austria advanced, Algeria went home. No, it wasn't. There is no rule in football that says you have to try. There is no rule that says you cannot play for a draw or play conservatively to protect a lead. Every team in every tournament in every league in the world does exactly that at some point. The problem wasn't what West Germany and Austria did. The problem was the system that allowed them to do it with perfect information. FIFA investigated. FIFA found no wrongdoing, because technically there was none. The game ended with a legal scoreline. No bribes were proven, no referee was corrupted. Algeria filed a formal complaint. It was rejected. The Algerians were absolutely furious, and they had every right to be. They had beaten West Germany earlier in the tournament. They had won their group games. They had done everything right. And they were knocked out because 2 other teams knew their score before kicking a ball. It wasn't cheating, it was something almost worse than cheating. It was a perfectly legal exploitation of a broken system. The reaction was enormous. Not just from Algeria, from everyone. Football fans across the world felt the same thing. Disgust. Even West German and Austrian fans were embarrassed. The nickname, the Disgrace of Gijón, wasn't invented by Algeria. It came from the German-speaking press. FIFA couldn't ignore it. After the 1982 tournament, they made a change that seems almost comically obvious in hindsight. From 1986 onwards, the final group stage games would always kick off at the same time. That's it. That was the fix. Simultaneous kickoffs, 2 games, same time, nobody knows what's happening in the other match while they're still playing. It sounds so simple. And it is. But before 1982, nobody had felt the need to do it, because no two teams had ever been quite this blatant about exploiting the gap. The Disgrace of Gijón became one of football's most infamous moments, not because of a bad tackle or a controversial decision or a missed penalty, but because of a spreadsheet. 2 national teams looked at a points table, did the arithmetic, and decided to treat a World Cup match like a business transaction. The result they needed existed. They manufactured it. They shook hands on it without ever actually shaking hands. And Algeria, who had produced one of the greatest World Cup upsets ever just weeks earlier, went home early because of a scheduling quirk. There's a version of this story where West Germany and Austria were villains. There's another version where they were just 2 teams playing within the rules of a system that was badly designed. The truth is probably somewhere in the middle, which is the most uncomfortable place for it to be. What we can say for certain is this: the Disgrace of Gijón proved that incentives shape behavior. Every time, without exception. If a system creates a shortcut, someone will take it. The job of rule makers is to close those shortcuts before someone figures them out. FIFA learned that lesson in 1982. Slowly, expensively, in front of the whole world. Now you know why, at every World Cup since 1986, the final group games always kick off together. You've probably never thought about that before. Now you'll never stop thinking about it.